Hi everybody, I'm Zari Ballard, and this is the When Love is Alive video blog podcast. Only today we're not talking about the normal type of narc. We're going to talk about the narc that rule the world, the narcs that rule the world, and what they're doing to us right now, stripping us of our freedoms and using a virus to do it all. Call me conspiratorial. I don't care. I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I'm going to let you know what's up. I'll be right back. Now, anybody who's awake would know that narcissists, they run everything. They run the government. They run the upper echelons of corporate businesses. They're always at the top because they're very clever and they can get there. Anybody who's awake knows that. In fact, narcissists maybe are a little bit down on the totem pole, and the psychopaths rule the world. Okay, so the narcissists, the sociopaths, and the psychopaths. And that's what we're dealing with right now. Anybody who's awake knows that narcissists rule the world. They're in all agencies in government and all levels of government. You have to be a narc in order to be in Washington or to be at the top. Let's just put it that way. So let me ask you a question. Why would you trust him? Why would you trust him? Why would you trust Trump and his minions? I don't care who they are. Okay, there is no Democrat and Republican Party. Okay, it is a one-party system. It always has been. The two-party system gives us the illusion of choice, but it's never been that way. They decide both candidates, and based on which way the public is leaning, they'll throw us that candidate. But the narrative, the agenda is always the same. So why would we trust these people? Why? Why would we allow Trump and his minions and Dr. Fauci to sit there at the podium, shoulder to shoulder, telling us to stand 6 feet apart? Why would we trust that? Why would we trust Fauci, who is a scandalous person, by the way? Okay, in the Obama administration, he was given $3.7 million by Obama to go to China to work on things like viruses, to do research. Why would we trust him? Why, on March 31st, when he was standing with Trump at the podium, telling us that we're all going to die, basically, his article came out in the New England Journal of Medicine saying that the coronavirus was no more deadlier than the flu. In fact, it had a less mortality rate. That article came out the same day that he stood at the podium. It's all there online to find out. What's going on right now, it's a takeover of America, which they wanted to do for a long time, with the help of all world governments, because America has always been the target. Always. Because we have so much abundance, or we're a freer people, but we're not free. And narcs run it. They run it all. Narcs are in law enforcement, and we are gearing towards a police state. You can call me conspiratorial. I don't really care. You need to keep your eyes open for the narcs outside of your comfort zone. Okay? Everybody's concerned about the narc that's in your personal space. But actually, he's a distraction. He's a distraction from the real big narcs that can make a mess of your life. And they've already done that. Government has no right to deem your business non-essential and mine essential. Has no business telling you to close and me to open. It's insanity. And now, today, there's a bill going through Congress, and you all need to look it up. HR 6666, isn't that amazing? But HR 6666, it basically gives them the right to come into your home and remove your children, your family members, that they think may be sick. And by the way, the testing kits for this virus, 80% false positives. Look up the information. Look it up. Stay away for one day Get away from mainstream. Mainstream has a narrative. They are owned by the government. A long time ago, journalists and your media, they used to be the watchdogs of the people. But now they are the gatekeepers for the government. Okay, they push every narrative. This is why journalists now, your little anchors that you see on TV, on CNN, they're paid $12 million a year. They're gonna tell you what they're being told to tell you. Let's look at some of the facts about this virus. In the beginning of 2019, was a drill called Event 201 by Bill Gates. Speaking of Bill Gates, why this nerd, this eugenist, this depopulist, his whole family is about depopulation. You can go and look up videos of him talking about using vaccines to depopulate the planet. And this is the guy that we're gonna that you would trust to create a vaccine and stick a needle in your arm. It's insanity. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? He's a psychopath. Because of this coronavirus. It's the flu, people. Are your neighbors dropping like flies? Because according to the numbers, they should be. No, they're not. Nobody's neighbors are dropping like flies. None of that's happening. The numbers are spinning up because they are no longer citing figures, death statistics for the first 3 diseases. The flu, pneumonia, and other respiratory illnesses. All those 3 are now being made to be COVID-19. That's it. Okay? Doctors are being told to list any death related to anything respiratory, even if it's an underlying condition, even if it's a pre-existing condition, even if you had a cough at the end before you died. It all has to be COVID-19. That is the reason for the big numbers. Because if you look around, look out your window, your neighbors aren't dropping like flies. Either are the people in your family. And if you think a little piece of cloth mask is going to make a difference, it's not. But they're going to have all of us wearing it. Okay? It's just, it shows compliance. Compliance. And you become an order follower. And you never want to be an order follower. Stop trusting the people in your government because they're narcissists. You can't pick and choose who your narcs are. The narc in your personal space is a narc. All he is in government is just, he has got more money and way more power. But imagine the power that your narc has over you on a much grander scale. Why would you trust someone like that? Why? What country is this? What country is this? There are 7 million guns in this country, yet Americans just bent over. Bent over and just say, yeah, go ahead, shove it up my ass. Take away my freedoms. Go ahead, yeah, it's all right. As long as I don't get a virus, woo! You know, are you insane? It's not real, folks. I'm sorry. It's not real. There are doctors that have come out and exposed this bullshit for what it is. It is a way to take away your freedoms. The Constitution is gone. There is no Constitution. When Trump, a couple weeks back, he declared all 50 states in an emergency situation, which has never been done in the history of the United States, giving full reign to FEMA, then he's no longer the president. He's not in charge, folks. He's not. He's not the boss. The boss is above him. The banksters, the globalists, big pharma, who's going to make a mint, by the way. Think about follow the money. Who's going to make a lot of money on this? The vaccine people. And they're all trying to get that vaccine going. We don't even know what's going to be in that vaccine. And no one will even ask. And they're not. And they're going to feel like we're not privy to that information. Why was Fauci in 2014 standing there and said, I predict that in the next administration there's going to be a surprise outbreak? How could he possibly know that? And the really interesting part of it, and it's very clever, because I've known that all this is coming for a while. My eyes were open a long time ago to what their agenda is. But what's really clever is they just caught me off guard. My biggest fear that I was going to wake up and the world had changed, that's exactly what happened. And I don't believe there's anything out there, anybody's dying from anything other than what they normally die from. When it comes to narcissism, I'm concerned that we only look within our personal space. We're only concerned about that narc, the narc that broke our heart, the narc that hurt our feelings. But that narc, those narcs on that level, I believe are distractions. They're distractions for a much bigger purpose. And that is that narcs rule the planet. And right now, they are taking away everything that this country ever stood for. Everything. Better wake up, people. I will not wear a mask. And when it does become mandatory, if it does become mandatory, which I'm sure it will, I already have little things that I'm going to be writing right across the front of my mask to get my message across. Not complying with this bullshit. And I will not allow anybody in my home to test me, my kid, my dad, whoever. Not going to do it. I realize that our freedoms have been taken away. But see, they haven't told us that yet. Until they stand up and tell the truth and say, by the way, everybody, your rights have been suspended. Until they say that, I'm going to demand my rights. Everybody better wake up. We have to unify in order to get it back. You're not going to die of COVID-19. Okay? You're not. It's not going to happen. I speak with people all over the world, and I've yet to talk to anybody who has seen their neighbors dropping like flies. I see a lot of people out of work, a lot of businesses that have closed, mom and pop businesses. I'm in Tucson, and there's all kinds of little businesses. You can't. They're all closed. Okay? Who knows if they'll be able to even come back from what's happened. Your governors, they're ruled by the top. Your people at the top in Washington are ruled by the globalists above. It's not a conspiracy, people. It's not. It's the truth. But they don't care. It's very obvious that the police aren't worried about how they treat people. And the government just doesn't care. They haven't even addressed. They have to know. Think about this. They have to know that there's a good portion of the population that is not happy with what's going on, that has questions that need to be asked. And of course, if they ask it on YouTube, it's being censored. This video might even get taken down. Who knows? I don't care. Okay. There's a good part of the population. Trump should be worried about it because he's got an election coming up. Okay? Maybe. He should be worried about the part of the population that doesn't agree with any of this. But they don't even address it. Why is that? Why do we allow these people, these narcs, these psychopaths, to walk around mask-free, standing shoulder to shoulder while they're telling us what to do, who we can and cannot stand with, isolating people? Believe me, quarantine, shelter in place, all that is in the 6 feet apart, social distancing, a term, by the way, that came from the movie Contagion. Okay, that's where that came from. Because we live in a movie. Seriously, we live in a fucking movie. But all that is not to stop the spread of a virus. It's to stop the spread of information. Very clever how they did it. And in the movie Contagion, by the way, one of the characters says, oh no, we don't have to have a real virus. We just have to put the idea of a virus out there. And look what happened. It's insane. This is a psychological operation. It's a psyop. And if we're not careful, it's over, folks. I'm telling you, narcs rule the world. They have no conscience. They have no sense of remorse. They're not going to have an epiphany and say, oh, I don't think this is the right thing to do. These are very scary times. Okay, some people say it's an exciting time to be alive. I don't think it's so exciting. I'm concerned. I'm concerned for future generations coming up. Okay, I think we all have an obligation to stand up for the children in this country. I really do. Who will never have a chance to appreciate the freedoms that we have had, and we have had enough of them, more so than other countries. But they're all gone. We can't even travel where we want to go. We have the real ID coming. There hasn't been a terrorist attack since 9/11. I'm not even going to go there in this video, but it was an inside job, folks. You can believe what you want. Look it up. Do your research. I used to be asleep. I was asleep for almost all of my adult life. I believed in my country. I believed in my government. Yeah, and then I woke up. And it doesn't feel good to be awake. But once you wake up, you can never go back to sleep. And you begin, the veil is lifted. And you can see it all clearly. You better open your eyes. There are more narcs than the one in your personal space. That is a distraction for what's really going on. Your children deserve to be free. We deserve to be free. We deserve to do what we want. The government is supposed to work for us. What are we doing? Where are all the men? Where's all the guns? What has happened to America? What on earth has happened to the people in this country? And the whole world is watching. There's other countries that are going through the same thing. Those people, they're worried. They're looking at America going, well, America's going to fix this. Those people are going to stand up. But we're not. We just bent over. It's very, very, very sad. And the protests, I know you'll say, but they're protesting. They're out there protesting. Why are they doing that? You don't have to ask your governor if you can open your business. Open your fucking business. Don't pay the fine. Stand up for your rights. Do it. People are afraid. And they're getting away with murder right now. They're getting away with murder. They are manipulating a world population just by saying a few words at a podium every day. Go to alternative media. Start looking outside of your comfort zone. Stay away from the mainstream media. They're only going to tell you one thing. Look around. Use discernment. What doesn't look right to you? It's a very scary time right now. I don't think that there's a whole lot of time left, especially with this HR 6666 passing, where they can come into your home and remove your family members to mobile quarantine units. What does that even mean? They can come and take your children. This is above and beyond CPS, people. This is up right now, is going through Congress. You better pay attention. And if you think for 1 minute that they're ever going to relinquish the control that they have over us right now, not on your life. These are narcs. These are sociopaths. These are psychopaths. They're never going to give this up. Look at how everything worked into place. Notice, when this first happened, within days, every store, every grocery store, every market, every store in the world had little stickers that went on the floor, signs talking about social distancing, okay? Commercials on TV, just like that. How could they do that so quickly? Don't tell me that stuff wasn't already in place, just waiting in boxes in the back room to be put out. It's just impossible that it would be so organized. That way, every store has the same little yellow sticker saying, walk this way, stand 6 feet apart, little strips. Who got together and made all that decision, all those decisions? All the markets of the world need to have little stickers or little plastic, cough guards or whatever. Who did that? That's not a coincidence, folks. How organized was that? Since when can we get our shit together that fast worldwide? And what company, what printing company got that contract is what I want to know, and was able to ship, design, print and ship all within days. Ask yourself that. Those are the questions that you need to be asking, and don't brush them off. They can do that. No, they can't. This really was a plandemic. Okay, the stimulus bill signed by Trump was actually introduced in January of 2019. Okay, and it was actually called the CARES Act, Coronavirus, whatever, Act for, stimulus. That's what it was called in January of 2019. That's why Trump was able to do it. I'll do 3 million or 3 trillion or whatever it was. Yeah. And the HR 6666, $100 billion. Where are we going to get all that money? And who's going to pay for that? Look at the facts, people. Ask questions. Be critical thinkers. Okay? Be critical thinkers. The government is walking all over us. Since when? Where in history has it ever shown that the government gives a rat's ass about us? We're told we can't. We can swim on a beach, but we can't sit on a beach. Okay, we can walk in the park, but we can't sit on a bench. This was a very clever takeover, and it's been in the planning stages for a very long time. Open your eyes. And make sure you leave in the comments below. I don't care. Comment anything you want. Call me anything you want. But if you're awake, let me know it. Anyway, I'll be back. I'm going to be ranting on some videos right now because I think that this is more important even than the narc in your personal space, and it can all be related to it. Why would you, if you're working on not accepting the behaviors of the narc in your personal space, if you want to get out of that situation, if you want to understand it, then you need to look at it at a broader scale because we are in a lot of trouble. But united, okay? Give me liberty and give me death. That's how I feel about it. So think about it. Stand up for yourself, for the rights of your family, for the rights of the children in future generations. Thank you for watching. This is Zari Ballard. I appreciate your patience today as I do a little rant. This is the When Love is Alive video blog podcast. I will see you next time. Bye.